Question is the chat ready?
Chat, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the special guest? Thank you for all the likes.
What is up, everybody? Who this? Who this?
How you fellas doing this evening?
Yo.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. Kind of tired, but excited to see what you guys have in store for me here.
Oh,
Yeah,
you on
we're
the coffee?
excited.
Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Cheers. Yeah, we had a lot of special requests to have you guys on. If you guys don't know, this is Andrew. Andrew,
Oh,
John just hooked me up with the Galaxy. Let's go.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
let's get it.
Nice. So if you guys don't know Andrew, he's an awesome reseller here from the TikTok community. And if you guys aren't following him, make sure you guys throw him a follow. I know you have multiple accounts, right?
It's just the one. I just have changed the name on it in the past. So, but I'm planning on sticking with this one. So if you follow this one, that's all I have.
Thank you for some southern accents. Oh yeah, baby.
I don't know how we're going to keep up with the chat. It's going pretty quick here, but if you want to start us off, Andrew, just introduce yourself to the new people and how you got started in with reselling.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Andy. I think I've been part of the community for like a couple years, maybe 2 years. Just mostly watching you guys and commenting in the chats, moderating some chats, stuff like that. But I used to collect CDs, and I'd go to the store and I'd see like a really rare one. I'd be like, oh, I already have that. And then I'd leave it there. And after a while, I thought, it's kind of stupid. I should buy it and try to trade it or do something with it. And through that, I got into listing them on eBay. And then, through being on TikTok, and I caught kings at the flea market, one day on like a Saturday or Sunday morning. I'm like, I should be looking for more different kind of things to sell, and, just kept going from there.
Nice, man. Nice.
So Andy,
Yeah.
that's first for me, Andy. Anyway, yeah, I want to thank you also for coming on, man. I know you usually shy away from the live a little bit, so I know AZ, just like myself, feel honored that you're here with us, and I'm sure the chat also feels honored that you on this live with us. I think a lot of people really like you, like your sense of humor. I, for one, do. So thanks again for taking the time out your night to be here.
Absolutely.
And
I appreciate you guys, wanting to have me on, and I think it's cool that if people want to hear what I have to say. I'm kind of surprised, but I'm happy to answer your guys' questions the best I can.
well, you're always in the chats, right? So I think
Yeah.
people appreciate that just in general, just for you to show up in people's lives, even though, we cut up a lot, right? So, and I, for one, I like some funny stuff in the chat. So yeah, so I believe that's part of the reason and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely bring an awesome sense of humor, and I think we need that, because we're always, we like to have fun, but we're also serious, and we take this job serious, but it's really cool that you bring us together and you make us laugh, man.
I try. I mean, some people like it, some people don't, but it's always kind of been my thing to like, I guess, ingratiate myself with people. If I can make them laugh, then generally they seem to like me, and I can get along. So that's what I try to do. I like to make people laugh if I can. Doesn't always come off the way I want it to, but for the
So
most part, I try to be good natured with it, you know.
Just be yourself. I mean, even cutting up about the Macari that time, I felt that you felt bad because I was going along with it. I said I deleted everything off Macari, and this dude messaged me. I think he sincerely felt bad that I did that, but I really didn't. I was going along with the joke. So I know you mean well. I know you mean well. I know you're a good guy. So I can accept that humor. So
Yeah. Oh, I would have felt awful if you really like delisted your whole store and everything because I was messing with Joey, you know.
But me and AZ kind of talked, and we usually will ask a bunch of questions, and then the second half, the chat, Ducky's on. If she's going to be here tonight, she's not going to be able to mod. So I
Okay.
think we're just going to ask the questions as the chat asks them, and we'll throw in some here and there also because I got a feeling we're going to have a lot. So chat, bear with us. I think we already have one, AZ. If you want to start us off.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this was the first one, but Jason. So Jason was one of the ones that he really requested you to be on. So I'm sure he appreciates you being on here. He wants to know, where did Way Out Mercantile come from and what does it mean?
When I was looking for a name for a store, I started doing this because I want a way out of like working 9 to 5 every day for somebody else. So that's where Way Out came from. And then with Mercantile, I was just looking for something to throw at the end of it that was different from shop or thrifter or whatever. And somehow I settled on that.
Yeah, I always thought your last name was Mercantile for some reason.
Mercantile is some kind of like trade or exchange type deal. It's like a archaic type of word for that, maybe. Just I don't know. It's like it means it's a little shop or something along those lines.
Right on.
Nice. I think if we missed your question, y'all just go ahead and type it again. We're gonna try to start. We're just gonna try to ask as we're going. We're gonna ask some of the funny ones too, so y'all just bring them on. We're here for some humor and some reselling stuff also. Cool Ricks did ask, how long have you been a rapper?
A rapper. I don't know. Probably 20 years, but not anything significant. But I've recorded like a couple things here and there as a joke. And my wife will always tell the story that like the way I won her over was I wrote a little rap and I like recited it for her in the car on a date, and she always would tell that story, to the family and stuff. Who got the
Nice.
galaxy there?
Rolling with the galaxy, throwing it off to you.
Joey just looked you up with that galaxy. Joey wants to know, what are your thoughts on politics, if you'd like to answer that one.
My thoughts on politics. I think like 9/11 happened when I was like 18, 19. So that got me real interested into politics. And I went to school and I studied history. So I was like real into it for a while. I taught for a little bit. Then I was periods where I don't pay attention and then I come back to it. It's tough being into politics because always 50% of the people that you talk to are going to pretty much hate you with what you have to say. But I don't know. I think it's important for people to be informed. Try to read different things. Try to find out, what's really going on and make an informed choice. Joey was probably being sarcastic here, like wanting me to.
That's all right. and we're not gonna really apologize because we're just here tonight. Is gonna be cut up, and we're it's gonna be some seriousness involved. So I hope nobody gets offended by any of this. But we're just here to have some fun night, fun time. But anyway, Tina asked, "What is the one thing that makes you angry with reselling?"
Angry with reselling? I don't know. There's a lot of things that make me nervous. I don't know about. I guess just dealing with returns. I get angry. I feel like they're they're basically defrauding the platform by saying like, oh, it wasn't as described or whatever, and eBay just throws their hands up and say, well, we've never, the item doesn't come to us, we don't know, we're not going to do anything about it. And it's frustrating, but you got to just think, the big picture. Usually, it doesn't matter too much.
I'm curious what your your number one response is to when you first open up your eBay messages and it says buyer wants a return, opens a return. What is your number one response?
I have automatic returns, so I don't have to say anything. They just automatically get it approved. But the first thing I do is go to check what the reason is, and if they put like doesn't fit or whatever, I'm totally okay with that. But when they put like doesn't match the listing, I'm like, you know what I mean? Because
That's what I was looking for. The technical response from you, not really to the. It was
right.
like when you open up, like fuck it.
Yeah. Sometimes I screw up, but like I got this shirt back the other day. It didn't fit somebody, and it's like smaller than the size on the label, So then I relisted it, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to make sure I put in the title, fit small, read, and then I, measure it, put all the measurements in there, and then the second person opens a return and they put not as described, it's too small, and it's just like, okay, if you're not going to read it, like, what else could I do? There's literally nothing I can do, and I think that's part of what you have to accept is that's the truth. There is nothing you can do. Sometimes it's just gonna. I had a former boss that used to say, "Sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. Like, sometimes you're that bug, and that's it. You lose that one."
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely frustrating, man, when you get those returns. I actually just had one yesterday. Same thing, man. Everything was described. It was actually like a sweater. Measurements were there, the color was there, and the buyer said the color was off, and it was baggier than the description. So it was like all I could do is report the buyer and hope that eBay can back me up, but in the end I just kind of think of it as like any other business. You're gonna have those returns. You just got to roll with it and just keep on pushing forward to get more sales.
That the color of that's a really tough one because I photo it outside, I photo it inside. It looks different. Sometimes I'll have something and I'll be looking it over like, is this navy? Is this black? Is this? I've been doing a lot of suit jackets and like you look at it and it's just like a couple different colors like really small together and like I don't know. I end up putting earth tone or whatever, but if that buyer doesn't like it, it's probably going to come back. Or no matter what you put, I'll put like, hey, I photoed this outside. If you look at it inside, it's going to look darker.
Right.
There's not, sometimes there's nothing more you can do.
Right. So Ashley wants to know, can you say "Hey, Mama" like JT?
Hey, Mama. JT says it like, hey, Mama, but then Jason will say, hey, Mama, doing his impression. And I think that one is funnier.
He adds a little more to it than mama.
Yeah. Hey, Mama.
Queen
Mama.
says thoughts on global warming and limited anesthesia.
What?
Thoughts?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to
I
answer.
didn't know there was limited anesthesia. And I don't know. It's pretty cold out here today, but hopefully everything works out well and the environment does okay, I suppose.
Joey said, "Is it true you made a sticker of me and sold it to Bold and didn't give him a percentage?"
Yes. And that was a one of one. He was the only one that bought it, so it'll be a collector's item. I don't know what he paid me for that. I wonder if I gave Joey money, if it would. I mean, at most it would have been like $250 or something, right? Joey has pretty much refused to create any sort of sticker or anything, and a lot of people ask for it. So as resellers, we see demand, and we try to step in.
Got to get it done.
Cruising said, Debbie asked, how long have you been reselling? How did you start? I think you might have.
Yeah,
You kind of went over that.
I mean, seriously doing it probably about 2 years, but I've had an eBay account for 20 years. I don't know when I sold my first item, but we'll say sometime within the last 10 years. I think I started out with putting a couple CDs up, and I found these old like mini Micro Machine Star Trek planes at my parents' house. I put them up, and just gradually grew and grew it to where now I do. Like right now, it's mostly clothes, but sometimes it's a lot of like books and magazines and stuff like that. Just depending on if I can find that, I'll do that, and then clothes is like what I defer to. I don't have the good like flea market estate sale game like you guys have. I'm not finding like a vintage ColecoVision or whatever and getting a couple $100 for it. I find a lot of like bread and butter stuff, and I think I need to figure out how to add some more of those like home run items to. My thinking was, well, you can't like shoot for a home run every time because they're too hard to get. But I think you need a good mix of like home run plus bread and butter, and I don't have enough of that home run stuff. I'm getting a lot of like $10 to $20 sales, and some below if it's older stuff I'm trying to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah, we were actually just talking about that. It just depends on your area. You just have to come up with a different strategy because if you're reselling, you really want to do this as, some people do it as a side job, side gig, but if you want to do it full time, you have to come up with that strategy to, even with those bread and butter items, you can still make it happen.
Yeah, I have you gone full time with it, Arizona?
Yeah, I did. I've been full time for 3 months now.
I
That's
remember
what.
you kept saying like, "Oh, I'm not going to go back to work. Should I go back?" I wasn't sure what happened with that.
Yep, I went on vacation. I never went back, man.
Just to drop his stuff off.
And Chad, you do it part time, right?
Yeah, currently, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what Jason wants to know. He said, "What's holding you back from becoming a full-time reseller?"
Well, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, you have to try to get to where you can make what you're currently making or more, like before you should feel comfortable to make that jump. I don't know if they're talking about sales or profits. I mean, if they're talking about sales, I can do that, but profits, I'm not there. And just needing that confidence to know that I would be able to do it. I also would have to figure out what to do as far as health insurance and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I like this year. I feel like I worked like almost as hard as I could, and I'm not making enough to step in for the full time income. Obviously, if I was doing it full time, I would have more time to work on it. But I don't know. Everybody says I think K-Way said like, oh, I was making more part time than I was at this job. I think that was something Line Creek had said, like you want to make sure you're making that part time before you can do it. And I mean, I struggled too with like having enough hours to work on it. I maybe get like 4 hours of sourcing in on the weekend, and that's about it. If I'm lucky, if it interferes with, kids' soccer game or stuff like that, Um, I'm gonna go to the game for my son.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say what scaling something like that would look like. Um, as far as like I like to go to library book sales and look through like books and pamphlets and things like that. But there's a limited number of those, and for a while at least, I was going to all the ones I wanted to go to anyway. But I mean, I could do more thrifting for clothes. I could add something else to it. I guess I don't know, what it would look like. I guess I want to see the numbers go up before I feel confident to make the jump.
Yeah, that makes sense. Deb, our number one helper's in the house. She wants to know, what is your favorite thing to flip? What's up, Buck?
My favorite name to flip, like a brand or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it is. I guess genre maybe.
Oh, okay. I pick up a lot of Ralph Lauren stuff. Some of it's bread and butter, $10 stuff. If I find something nicer, I can maybe make some more money off of it. But I like that one.
Nice.
Interestingly, like I never cared about any of these brands before, but now I'm like, oh, I want a Ralph Lauren shirt, or I'm like, oh, these golf pants that are stretchy are nice. So I'm starting to get into this stuff, which is an unintended side effect.
Yeah.
I think Big E's surprised that you're here. He said, OMG. And John wants to know, do you have any tattoos?
No, I don't.
And Big E, do you have coupons for Dove soap bars?
I don't. And nobody bought a Dove soap off of me. I think that's the last time I make a free commercial for somebody. A lot of people are becoming successful with this, but I don't know. I don't know if I have the following or if I have what it takes to do that kind of stuff. I sold one of those thermal printers. I'm going to get $8 off of that. But I did 2 videos on the soap and nobody bought any. So.
Oh, you mean on TikTok Shop?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I know you mentioned, you go to your son's games. That's really cool, man. I see your son in your videos, and I have a 5-year-old little boy, so I know it's how it is, and that's cool that you're there for him, man.
I want to. Sometimes I'll get like, I'm not going to be able to go sourcing or whatever, but I'm just trying to, step back and keep my priorities straight.
You're doing the right thing.
I appreciate that.
You can't get it back.
Right. And I know in a couple years, he's not going to want to be spending all this time with me anyway.
Yeah.
He might still be having games. I don't know, if he's going to wind up wanting to do sports, but.
And when they get a little older, they find a little girlfriend and it's over with. Done.
April said, what's the weirdest item you've sold on eBay?
The first thing that comes to my mind is I found a bird's nest at one of the soccer games, and I looked it up, and they sell, and I got $20 for it.
No.
It did get taken down, and then I had to fight him and get it put back up. But,
oh, Lord.
Because you can't sell like parts of a bird, but you could sell a nest. And their AI is not very,
Sure there's no feather in that nest.
What's that?
Make sure it wasn't no feather in that nest.
There might have been.
Bird.
So are you consistently looking for nests now?
No.
Almost spit my coffee out now. Andrew gets us through our.
I put it in a bag and boxed it up, and I'm like, if somebody buys it, labels on it's going out. But it had I don't know if you know what potato bugs or roly polies are. Or that's might be a local name, but there was a ton of those on there too.
That's hilarious, huh?
Yeah. Cool Rick said, "Are you full time or planning?" Okay, we got that one. Cool Rick's. That was going to be a great question. What is a useless talent that you are proud of? Jason wants to know.
A useless talent.
A useless talent that you are proud of.
I mean, I would say like what you guys started with is making jokes and trying to make people laugh. That's something that I've always prided myself on. Also, like I'm pretty good at like bar trivia and stuff like that, crossword puzzles, any of that kind of stuff.
So I actually, I feel like you're like one of the ones that's more knowledgeable in like the actual eBay system than most of us, because I see you like really dive in and like you stay in contact with them a lot, right? Like whenever you have an issue.
I mean,
Um,
if they pull something down or whatever, I fight it. I try to find out what's going on. A lot of time, they send you these vague emails, and sometimes you don't even get an item that it's regarding. Um, and I'll talk to people, and a lot of times they have no clue. They can't figure it out. We don't see anything on your account, which is a good thing, because we all get scared about the Vero and stuff. But I don't know if it's like it used to be, or if with the AI they kind of throw out some of the penalties, or if it just takes more to get to them. I don't know. I was looking at this the other day. I got a Vero for counterfeit in 2020. And I think it was my second one, and they said after this you get a 3-day suspension. And I haven't got any kind of penalty or threats or anything like that since then, but I haven't had another one that said counterfeit. So I'm a little bit nervous if that would come up, because they hide all your items for 3 days, and then I think the next one after that is they just kick you off the platform.
yeah.
I have no clue if they're still doing that or not, but obviously that's like game over if they kick you off. You're not gonna. At least I'm not gonna make anywhere near that doing Poshmark and Depop and Mercari even all together.
Oh my God.
I think
Thank
we
y'all
have
for the gifts, everybody. Appreciate y'all hitting the like button. We're almost up to 15K.
All right. But I mean, it's frustrating trying to talk to those people and chat with them. And like we were talking about that shirt that was too small. And I'm like, I know, the basic, you chat them or get a call from them. The first person you talk to, they can't do anything. And what they're going to tell you to do is wait for the item to arrive and then reach out to them again, which is basically like they're just, call us back in a week or whatever. And you have to ask for a supervisor because they're the only ones that can do anything. And I got one, but they even said, they gave me the whole line about like, well, we never touched the item, so blah, blah, blah. You have to, I forget the term she used. You have to like fulfill the return or whatever. And she's like, if you want me to waive it as a one-time courtesy or cancel it, I'm like, sure, I'll take that. But you can't even rely on them to do the right thing. I had somebody before that was like, oh, we're not going to put up with it. They're defrauding the system, blah, blah, blah. And they closed it right then, like a minute, a couple minutes after they opened it. I felt like this was pretty much the exact same thing. The other one was like an untested electronics item, and they got it and said it didn't work. It's like, well,
It's all about who you reach out, who you talking to with eBay too. Like one person, it's just so different from the other.
I think if the first line of defense or whatever that you get, they either can't do anything at all or would really need somebody to like give them an okay. And then no matter how far you get, I feel like it's like highly discouraged for
Yeah.
them to help you out, like whether they would get like a bad rating for doing it. But the first person you talk to will get like upset if you ask for a supervisor. Why? I already offered you a solution.
Yeah.
That's why I like messaging them on. Used to be, what was it, eBay for business, but I think it's just eBay now.
Yeah.
But because I feel like they have a moment to kind of, if when you call them, it's like they're caught on in the moment, so they got to make some kind of decision, right? Whether it's right or wrong.
Right.
I think if they see it, they have time to kind of think it through, maybe even talk to somebody. But it's still going to vary from person to person.
At eBay for business, they used to get so mad at me on there that everybody like would say how great it was, but I had them on there like, if you contact us about this again, like we're not going to do anything and we're not even going to respond. And I
I
was
pissed off
I
somebody
don't
on
know
that.
why people are saying this is so good.
I was pretty much telling him how dumb he was because he was saying some of the dumbest stuff. I'm like, do you even know your own policies? Crazy.
So April wants to know what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened while sourcing.
Um, I can't remember if I was sourcing or not, but my son and I were at the flea market and my belt buckle broke, and I had like a pair of pants or shorts that were too big, and I had to walk around like holding them up until I found a vendor that was selling like bungee cords or something, and I like rigged it back together. But I mean that's probably going to be it.
Nice.
Joey says, what item surprises you most that you sell well?
What item surprises me most? Um, I don't know. Just weird stuff winds up being worth a lot of money. Like most recently, I'll always buy if I can get them cheap song books, like that or books that teach you how to play the piano, or that have like a particular. I got all these ones that were like country music. I didn't think they were going to do well, but some of them did okay. But in that lot, I had like a couple of vintage beauty magazines, and I figured they're probably no good, but they two of them sold right away for like $25. So it you always learn stuff from picking up a big stack of stuff. Something in there will surprise you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of get over on other people because they don't know about it, right? You have that advantage.
Definitely. Like I saw a lot of these craft leaflets, and the only reason I know that they're any good is because there was one on the library free shelf, and I'm like, I'll take this home and see if it sells. And it didn't sell for much, but some of them do. Like cross stitch is popular if you find the right ones. Some of them, you know, I'm trying to think what else. I look for cross stitch ones. Anything about knitting Afghans. Usually, like the I don't know if you call them paperback, but like the magazine type ones rather than the hardcover books seem to be what people like.
So
Somebody's asking about the beauty magazines. I'd have to look up the names of them, but they were vintage.
Big E said kind of similar question. You're part time, but if you were to figure out a way, do you intend to go full time?
I want to, I think I'm going to have a problem like coming up with the courage to like actually make the jump. But that's what I want to do. I don't like working for people. I don't want to be working for somebody else's company for the rest of my life. I know there's a lot of problems that are going to come along with working for yourself that you have to solve. Like, how are you going to do retirement? How are you going to do, um, health insurance? How are you going to, make sure you have a good work-life balance where, you got to set hours for yourself. But ultimately, that's what I want to do. I've always wanted to come up with an idea that I could work for myself or even like invest and let my money work for me, because I just don't like that authority thing. You know, I get in trouble when I butt heads, and you either got to like play nice, which after a while, you know, it gets tough and you get sick of doing it. And that would be my goal, would be to work for myself and not have to be, you know, answerable to some boss that may or may not know what they're talking about.
Angie wants to know, what is an item that you broke even or lost money on with the shipping? Broke even on or lost money with the shipping?
I had one that I packed today that was pretty close. Poshmark, if you have anything listed like under $5, they only give you like 16 cents or something for that sale. And the person offered me like $1 less, and I'm like, I can't take it. So I countered with the same price, but it was like I paid 88 cents for a cookbook, and I made $1.06. So it was not technically a break even, but I put a couple strips of tape on that package, so I'd say that's a break even. I pick up a lot of, if you see like the spiral bound local cookbooks, if they have like an interesting gimmick to it, I try to pick them up if they're cheap.
Yeah.
Sometimes people like them. If you find like Italian family cookbooks, those sell really well. I found some that were like, what was it? Seventh Day Adventist cookbooks, which is it's kind of an uncommon Christian denomination. But people were looking for stuff. I even pick up like Pittsburgh neighborhood ones. They don't do great. People buy them. People all over the country buy them. I don't know if they're from there originally or buying it for somebody or what. But if you, I was pricing them up for a while. I started going back down to trying to price them at $10 or $15, because if you can get them cheap, they'll move for that. But there's some Pittsburgh ones. We have a station called WQED, which is our local public access, and they had a series of cookbooks, and some of them sell for $50, and it's just like,
Yeah.
it's something that people around here don't think is worth anything, and those are the cool ones, you know. It's like, oh, it's a WQED book, you know, just give it to the book sale or whatever, and you know, sometimes you'll get 35 or $40 out of it if it's a rare one, because people collect everything.
Nice. Just want to say thank you guys. Thank everybody for being here. If you guys aren't following Andrew yet, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys throw him a follow. If you guys can help us get to 20K likes, we'll go ahead and do a giveaway once we hit that 20K like. And Jason wants to know, are you going to cash out all these coins, or are you going to regift them?
I don't know what they're worth. I mean, this is by far the most I've ever had. Usually I regift them. Because I don't know what this is, but I imagine it's probably like $10. You know, if it's something substantial, I might cash it out. Otherwise, I had a couple from going live with Jason on Sunday, and I don't know. I just kept going. Oh, I'm the top gifter in this. I haven't had any for a long time, since like a long time ago when I went on with Chad one night. Somebody gave me some, and then I just, you know, paid it all back out to the people I watch. So, you know, that's probably what I'll do.
Yeah, it's kind of fun just to spread it around.
Right.
Cool Ricks want to know, well, you already answered this. You sell clothes, you sell other stuff also. April want to know, who do you like better, JT or Jason?
They're my buddies. What could I say? I'm not going to pick one over the other, but
Don't you love these type of questions?
somehow I started this group chat with the two of them, because I probably said, oh, I'll send you guys whatever, and I just put it in one, and we've been like chatting on it every day for months. So it's kind of cool to have that. But Jason and I are kind of like the little guys, and JT's like selling refrigerators every day and stuff. But it's cool to get a different perspective.
So John said 0 people are asking for Joey stickers. He doesn't know what you're talking about.
Well, Meg was asking for one, and I sent her. I made a couple for her. But all I do is print them on a thermal printer, so mine are very low grade. Shy's the one that you need to have make something up for him, but it's very much in line with Joey's whole persona. They're just like, I can't be bothered making a sticker, you know. So it fits him.
Yeah, I like that sticker you made for Joey.
Which one was it?
I think it's the one, either he's like sitting down or like, because you made 2, right?
For Meg, I made 2 different ones. Yeah.
Those are cool.
It's just his Facebook pictures. There's one of him like he's like lounging on the beach with his shirt open.
Yeah, yeah.
One, and then the other one was him in a suit or something. Well, Shy's offering to make him a sticker.
Nice.
How about a tumbler with Joey there with his shirt open on the lounge chair? Would that one sell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would sell, man. I think John made another comment. He said, "Have you ever made more than your high school principal?"
Probably not.
How many? Jason wants to know how many pamphlets do you sell a year?
I don't know. It just depends on when I get them in. Like sometimes you'll find somebody on Facebook like, I got all these old manuals and stuff. Does anybody want them? Or maybe they'll want $10, but that stuff could sell. Like if it's an old refrigerator thing or old lawnmower thing. I saw a lot of that kind of stuff. I would say recently, but I mean it was probably like 4 or 5 months ago. I went to a garage sale and this guy had all this like airplane stuff, like magazines, pamphlets from air shows. I forget what kind of deal he gave me for it, but it's probably like 20 cents a unit or 15 cents. And some of them, people like that stuff. Some airplane guy, he's probably collecting all the ones that some of them were like Beechcraft air show or whatever. I think that's like a model of a plane. I don't know too much about the stuff. I learned a little bit about it just when I find stuff like that. But I just had an inkling like, I bet you somebody wants this airplane stuff. And most of it went, within a couple days. And then I'll have some that'll straggle on for a long time.
How many April said, how many sports stores have you bought out this year?
I haven't done anything like that. I like if the Dick's Warehouse has a clearance sale, like I'll go up there and buy some stuff. That's the closest thing to buying out a store, which is not close at all, but it's a sporting goods.
Cool, Ricks. Where were you impacted at all by the Puma bureaus?
They haven't taken mine down. I know Surfs is like telling everybody, take it down, but I have like 9 of these belts and I want them to sell, so I've left them alone so far, and they haven't taken them down. Knock on wood, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I have the belts, I have a pair of shorts and a pair of pants, and I have receipts for all that stuff, so I could fight it. And then I have one it's a used thrift store shirt that's Puma's the official whatever of Ferrari, so it's a Ferrari shirt. So if they go after that one, my thrift store receipt isn't going to be worth anything to them. But I don't know. I just don't want to be stuck with 9 Puma belts.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
They, I bought so many of those, probably like 40, but they're very low profit. I'm making like $3 or $4 off of each one. But they sold pretty well for me.
Cool Rick wants to know, what's your full-time gig?
My full-time gig. I work. I mean, I don't want to give specifics, but I work for a company that's mainly a call center. I'm not on the phone all day, all the time, but sometimes I am when the main call center is overloaded with people. But I work from home. You know, I'm on a computer with a headset. I'm either doing like emails and stuff or taking calls, things like that.
Nice. Sure, I want to know, where do you source most?
Most of the time, I mean, there's a store called St. Vincent de Paul store, which is a thrift store. If you guys have it in your area, I like that.
Yeah.
And recently, there's I think it's called Hidden Treasures. It's a city mission store. It's smaller, but I like that one too. I like both of those better than Goodwill. Um, they are all starting to do like stupid stuff with the prices though, so hopefully it doesn't stick. Goodwill now, all the Ralph Lauren shirts are $9.99, and it's too much. But with the other stores, I can, I came out of that St. Vincent de Paul with a whole cart full of them.
I probably go in this one Goodwill store that's near me like once a year. Last time I went in it, they had George polos for $9.99. I saw that and instantly walked out. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't even want to kill time here.
yeah. I don't know, because like obviously that's awful, right? But it doesn't mean you're not going to find something else in there.
That's true. Yeah, but it just turned me. Yeah, whatever.
All right, so we did hit 20,000 likes. Thank you guys so much for hitting the goal there, guys. Andrew, do you wanna pick a number for us between 1 through 50,
Sure.
and whoever guesses that number is gonna get a surprise giveaway. So if you wanna, let me know when you got the
I
number.
tell it to you.
You're going to have to watch the chat.
Okay.
I'm keeping mine where it's at because I don't want to lose the questions.
I can only see 2 lines of it. I don't know why, but Wendy got it. 47.
Hey, Wendy.
Wendy, was it 47?
47, yeah. So I don't know if anybody said it before that, but that was
All right, Wendy, congratulations.
Wendy.
Wendy, just send me a message with your info, please. If you can, send it to me on here and also on Instagram.
What's the giveaway?
Giveaway will be a gift card. So it'll be a choice of gift card for eBay or Amazon.
Oh, Aaron, yours is on the way too, by the way.
All right. We have a lot of comments, guys. We are trying to get through all the comments, so thank you guys for all your patience.
Chad, I feel like you don't do too much thrift store.
I don't. I have a local church thrift that I go to. Pretty much, I try to go in there every week because they move stuff. They know how to work it, right? They run sales. They get their stuff out of there. If they have it for a while, they push it somewhere else to give them a shot. There's another one that's probably 20 minutes away. It's a pretty large one,
Yeah.
and every month they run everything for $1. I mean, that's how you should do it, right? Get that stuff out of the way, get stuff in. I mean, their back room are just piling up. And to me, these other ones, it just makes zero sense. I think they're going to give in one day and realize. I think somebody's going to push those buttons and they're going to give in and they're going to realize. I mean, they're already overloaded, right? Even pushing stuff to the bins, they got to give in at some point.
I think I guess depending on the store too. Like when they get a different manager in there, they'll start doing things differently. I think the Goodwills, it's more like a regional manager making those decisions. But I know that St. Vincent de Paul store, they rearranged everything, and the staff were talking like, "We got a new manager in. She seems to be doing a good job." Blah blah blah. But then like everything Tommy Bahama is $15, and it's like stuff that I wouldn't even pick up if it was $1. You know?
They're trying to control it all, and they really shouldn't. They just need to let it go. Let it go.
Yeah, Ashley, I think she's in the same boat as you. She said, same as a teacher, I'm exhausted and just don't want to list or do anything. So she's sounds like she's limited on
Yeah.
time.
I was a teacher for a couple of years. It's a rough job. I don't know if I'd be doing this part time if I was doing that.
What Jason say? What's the worst? What's the worst piece of advice you got from this community? Jason wants to know.
I don't know about a particular piece of advice, but just be careful. Like when you first come into this community, there's a lot of people that go live, and like at least for me, I just kind of tend to assume they know what they're talking about. But a lot of them are like really, really part time and don't sell a lot. And then we had a guy that was pretending to be like a magnet with a big storage facility, and it was all phony stuff. And like he just gave me a store rating one day, and he's like, "There's too much glare in your photos," and I'm like going nuts, like trying not to get glare in my photos. And the guy doesn't even sell as much stuff as I do. You know what I mean? Obviously, I don't want glare in the photos if I can avoid it, but find people who are good. Look at what they do, and like copy it, steal it. Like I watch Surfs, and I learn so much about clothes from him, and he'll drop something, and I'll add it to my little repertoire, and like, oh, I can look for these shorts with this on it, and they sell well, and then now now there's something else that I can pick up that I would have ignored before.
Yeah. Yeah, I do the same thing, man. I try to follow those who are doing good. And
Right.
Ashley said, unlike JT, who does whatnot over his daughter's games.
Oh Lord.
I don't even know if that's true. I remember him skipping a whatnot. I don't know what the reason was.
Yeah, they never give a complaint, but
Surfs is awesome. Yeah, I can't. Sometimes when nobody's on, I'll play his YouTubes, even if it's one I watched already, because I got to take a call. I missed part of it.
Drea said, I have a rock that looks like a potato. I'm going to list it.
You know what?
do it, Dre. $50, $100.
I'm trying to think what it was, but like I got a lot of tools that I wanted in an auction for like $3 or $4. I had this one like weird looking wrench that kind of looked like a shark or something, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I just put it up like odd tool, weird, $35 or whatever, and somebody bought it. And with that kind of stuff, you never know if you're pricing it too low or whatever. But
Right.
like if somebody wants a weird rock that looks like a potato, I found something else that I didn't know exactly what it was, and I put an odd, weird tool on it, and somebody bought it. Who knows if they really need this thing or if they're just a weird tool collector. That was something that,
These keywords, right? One of one. So somebody's got to have that one of one, no matter what it is. Sometimes.
Dang Varmint or whatever his name is now, Daddy sold my toys. He was one that would talk about like put weird, oddity in your list. It's I don't do a lot of that, but I've seen it work.
Jason wanted to know, do the eBay employees know you better than kings of eBay?
Do they know me better than Kings of eBay? No. There's so many of them, and I'm sure they come and go. I'm not sure. I heard him talking this morning. I don't know what his story was, that he calls in and they already know who he is, and he probably has a different number to call than I do, if they know who, already what's going on.
Let me see, where are we at?
Drea's got one, I think.
Angie?
Drea.
If you want to get that one, because I'm a little backed up.
Drea, I think you'd already answered the question about the beauty magazines. Drea want to know, what's one thing you tend to stay away from?
Honestly, I stay away from electronics now, which I like. Arizona, it's like his favorite thing. Cameras, that's like what Joey's favorite thing. Gems, a lot of people do well with it, but they're so high return, and I don't want to test them. And honestly, I probably should. I need to make like a nice station where I can stand up and test. But it's like, I've already been going to physical therapy for like back and neck problems. I don't want to be crawling down and plugging stuff into an outlet, and somebody sends it back. I had so much electronics crap sent back, and it would drive me nuts, and I just quit looking at it. But that's not good advice. You should figure out how to do it correctly.
I hate testing stuff too, man. I just usually just run it. I run it on whatnot and let somebody else deal with it.
I like that, I would buy it for I buy it for $1. Somebody else buys it for $10, and they can see if it works, part it out or whatever.
So, have you ever done a whatnot show, Andrew, or you ever thought of doing one?
I don't really want to do one. I know there's money to be made there, but I kind of think you have to have like a good audience already going into it. And I don't know. I don't really want to be like live in front of people selling stuff. That's what I like about eBay. I post it up and somebody can buy it, and I don't have to talk to them, or I just put it in a box and send it out. That's how I like it,
Yeah. I think we had Rebecca wanted to know if you could psychoanalyze only one member of the reseller community, who would it be?
Psychoanalyze.
Oh, I missed that one. Sorry.
Trying to think of somebody who would be interesting. I don't want to cause any kind of controversy.
You gonna lead out alone?
I'll say Joey. Figure out what makes him tick.
Right.
Be on the safe side, huh?
Yeah, why not?
Oh God, let's see. Angie said, "Oh no, we got that one. Oh, where we at? Uncle Jim Pickers. Unc wants to know, when you list multiple items, do you post them right away or schedule them to post at a certain time?"
I post them as quickly as I can, because if it's not up, nobody can buy it.
Do you do drafts since you're limited on time, or no?
I mean, I might have a draft because I didn't get it finished with it, but I don't like put a draft and save it till tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
If I have it done, I post it. Auto Flasher's already like doing the posting stuff, reposting stuff every day. If that's really a thing, I don't know. People have a lot of almost like superstitions about what you have to do on eBay to sell stuff, and I don't know which of them I really believe and which of them are just kind of like old wives' tales, But yeah, if I can post something versus leave it in my drafts, I'm going to post it. Might as well give it, 9 days or whatever, 10 days to sell instead of 9.
Yeah. Angie said, I'm not sure if you answered this, but she said, "What's the rare cookbook?" You
The one I was talking about was it's WQED. It's called QED Cooks. And there's a guy on the cover that says Chris Fenimore. I was thinking I might have one up here, but I don't. It's downstairs. I picked up a couple at Goodwill the other day, and I scanned one of them, and it's listed. Somebody's got it listed at like $70. It's not going to sell for that, but they did like the whole alphabet thing. So it's like, I don't know, A's for asparagus, and B's for broccoli, and it's got all those kind of recipes in them. So there's like so many different varieties of them. The common ones are worth like 10 or $15, but the unusual ones, you know, I do have some up now that I need to drop down because they haven't sold. But if you have an unusual one, somebody will pay a little bit more for it. That's a Pittsburgh thing. I don't think you're going to find that everywhere, but you could try to find like your equivalent of it, you know. I like trying to find like I'll have some that's like a local Greek Orthodox church food festival cookbook. So it's got all these Greek recipes in it. So somebody would like that, you know, that they're looking for all like one kind of thing.
So, did you say you're only selling on eBay, or you're selling? Are you on Amazon as well?
I'm not on Amazon. I signed up for it once, and I don't know. I really don't like how it works. I've never sold anything on it. I just signed up for it and kind of looked around, and um, you know, I talked to a couple people that were doing it, and Mary Treasure was selling these Levi's signature jeans on there from, you know, Walmart sells them, and I had a whole bunch of them. I'm like, well, I'll sign up and I'll list all those, and then I go through and like none of my SKUs are there, so I couldn't do those. And then I don't know, like the way you have to decide what shipping costs, everything. I think everything on there is just so counterintuitive. But you know, you can make good money on it, and if I do full time, I think I will do it. But I don't
Yeah.
have the patience for it part time.
Ashley's crazy journey. How do you ship books if they are heavy?
Um, I mean, I usually it's Ground Advantage Cubic is the cheapest now. There's like a little niche zone where media is still good, but it's like 1 to 2 pound range, or under a pound, but like over a certain amount. I think media is still good, but I ship most of that stuff through Pirate Ship, so
Yeah.
I just pick whatever the cheapest thing is. Um, Usually a book, I'll put them in a little clear poly bag, and then I get these kind of things from FedEx and UPS. I slip it in there, and then put it in the you know, like the white poly bag, and it goes out like that. And that way, it's got a couple layers of protection. People seem to like it.
Oh, Opal wants to know: has the record label contacted you yet about the verses in your recent TikTok videos?
Oh, Cool Rick's favorite sourcing method.
Method.
Maybe,
I like going to bag sales if I can find them. Like a lot of book sales or bag sales, it'll be like $5 a bag, and if I can find, like I like to get the thin pamphlet kind of books because you can fit more of them in there, and I look at ones that don't have the barcode on them because the Amazon sellers come in and, you know, so they grab that stuff up, and the odd kind of stuff is like kind of an untapped market, you know. And if I can throw a whole bunch of them in a bag, maybe some of them are good, maybe some of them aren't. You know, I'll lot up the ones that are not good, the ones that I think might be good or are definitely good. I'll sell them individually. Um, Like I said, usually that's book sales that do bag sale, but I've seen that with churches too, and I've done pretty well. Like I threw a whole bunch of like Craftsman drill batteries in the $5 bag at one time, and sold each one of those for like 25 bucks plus whatever else I had in there. So if you can get a lot of stuff for a low price, there's not a lot of risk. The more you pay up, the more you have to know and feel confident that that thing is going to sell.
We had a couple people come in. They were saying hello, second chances, hello, Charity. Thank you guys for being here. Let me see. I think Charity said, it's so silly they lost the ability to understand the turn and burn.
Yes, for sure.
Probably the thrift stores with the pricing up the items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I'd say, another thing that I try to kind of do is I look for stuff that's like further out, like away from the city, because I think not as many people are going to go out there, or they might have like weird, unusual stuff, and it's cheaper usually. I tend to do better at like church sales that are, out in some little town in the middle of nowhere. One time I got a whole box of, what do you call these little guys? Precious Moments craft booklets.
Yeah.
And those were doing really well on Facebook Marketplace when I was able to cross post over there. It was like $10 a piece for most of them. Some of them more, some of them, some of them I still have. But that kind of stuff works out nicely.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I feel like if your area is not giving you like really good items, or you feel like it's not, they're pricing stuff up too high. Sometimes you do have to drive out a little bit to get something good.
A lot of the estate sales around here, like I go in and there's a sign like books $2 to $10 priced at the register, and I was like, well, I don't want, I pretty much don't want any of these books for $2. There might be some in there that are good, but I don't know. A lot of people are just pricing everything up too high, and I can't imagine they're selling it.
Yeah.
I think Shy want to know, Andrew, do you believe in sell-through rate?
Yeah, I check sell-through rate. There's different things you can do to like make that work to your advantage a little bit more, even if the sell-through isn't good. Like recently, this is what I've been trying. I find a lot of these, they're Ralph Lauren blazers, and they're not worth great money, and they're slow sellers. But if I can get them for $5 or $6, and I just list it for $20, they seem to pretty much fly out the door. So, sell-through rate doesn't, it's not always what it is on paper. You got to factor some other things in, and try to be very specific with it too. Like, I forget what I was looking at the other day, but it looks terrible. But then if you put in the color, and if you put in whatever the pattern, then it's like 100% sell-through rate, with that one. So.
Shy also said, I think this was towards that comment Rebecca made. She said, since when do you avoid controversy?
I would like to avoid like interpersonal controversy with other people in the reseller community. Not so much like I'm afraid to say outlandish things or whatever, but I don't want to say them about one of my friends. If that makes any sense. I don't mind saying it about what's going on in the news or something.
All right, I guess we can maybe get a couple more questions because we kind of went over a little bit. What do we got?
There's some funny questions in here, man.
I know we could go on and on and on. Hey, Vanessa, Olga, everybody.
So
How did your guys' thing go before this?
what's that?
How did your thing go before this? Your what was it, Barnes and
Yeah, picking and grinning.
yeah,
Doing good, man.
did it? Good. I haven't heard of them before. I was just looking it up like a couple minutes before we started here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chad.
I was just gonna say, Buck Mountain is kind of he's one of the guys, and he comes in our chats and he does a little bit over here also. So, if y'all not following Buck Mountain, make sure y'all following Buck Mountain. And the video is up. We did like a little. Me and AZ kind of got drilled a little bit tonight with questions. Not a ton, but we got some questions for us, and it was a nice live. We appreciate anybody who came through for the live tonight, and also, um, again, if anybody would that's not yet, me and AZ got a YouTube channel up, Reseller Live with Chad and AZ. It's both in our link trees. Either one of us. We need a few more to get 50 followers so we can start going live over there. Also, we would greatly appreciate the support over there as well. So we're trying to just grow and make sure these videos get over there, and then at some point we can go live from YouTube also, and venture out a little bit to try to just keep spreading knowledge and getting everybody on here. And yeah.
I'm glad you guys are posting these over there because yeah, I haven't seen too many of them, but like I was watching part of that Mariova collection the last time, and I don't know anything at all about that stuff, but I'm like looking at her solds, and she's selling like $5,000 candlesticks, and
Yeah.
I would love to like learn some of it. I don't even know where to start, but it's interesting stuff. You can learn a little bit from different people. Now, you guys are probably getting a lot of good stuff to add to your repertoire when you go out there looking for stuff from doing it. So
We got Brad in the building. Brad made him a TikTok account to come over and hang out with us. Appreciate it, Brad. Brad, Black Sheep Society. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Brad, and he's down in the chat. Y'all go give him a follow. He created a TikTok. I think just to come over here and support us also, and hopefully he can get on us with us sometime on live and just chat it up. So appreciate you coming over, Brad.
Yeah, and just to close this out, Andrew, if you want to share something, something to encourage like a new reseller or someone who's struggling in the business, that you could share some encouragement, what would you say?
yeah, there's a lot of different ways to make money on eBay, and if you're trying something and it's not working out for you, try something else. Look stuff up, go on TikTok, go on YouTube, find people that seem like they know what they're talking about, and try to take some of their tips and put it to use. There's a lot of stuff that you don't have to pay a lot of money for that you can try and see if it works. You can go to a flea market and buy a bunch of dollar items and see what kind of stuff seems like it sells and what stuff doesn't. And that's how I got into doing some of the stuff I do. Like I don't know, I picked up tobacco pipes for $5 to see if they sold, and they sold. So now I pick them up, and sometimes I'll order lots of them and resell them. Just try different stuff out, see if it works, and see what what works for you and what you like to do.
Nice. Thank you for that, Andrew. Once again, guys, thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you guys aren't following Andrew or Chad or myself, please consider hitting that follow button. Really appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. You guys have a good night.
Good night. Thanks, guys.